Hello, I'm Burt Green. Can we please talk about UFC San Antonio and also, whatever else has been going on in MMA news this week, really? So yeah, this is the Burt Locker. As I said, I'm Burt Green, and this is going to be talking about the results of UFC San Antonio. So if you haven't seen that, you might want to skip that little bit and just having a quick look at what's been going on in the world of UFC, mixed martial arts, and a little bit of boxing as well this week because there's been a lot of headlines. So let's get cracking. UFC San Antonio. I'm not going to lie, it didn't blow my skirt up. The whole event, I don't know, it was a bit of a mess really because so many fights got called off. Something like 7 fighters missed weight. That's absolutely mental. So they moved a lot of fighters around. There were a lot of fights that were cleared from the card completely, at least 4 that I can think of off the top of my head. And it's a real shame because some of them were good fights as well. But yeah, it was a bit of a mess. And then when you're coming down off of a great card that was, the UFC in London, it was a little bit of a come down. I'm not going to lie. I call it like I see it. Wasn't the best card in the world, but a couple of bits that stood out for me. You've got Pineda. My Pineda prediction came in. I said that he would get the sub, and he hasn't pissed hot yet. So the second part of my prediction hasn't come in because I did actually predict that Pineda was going to win by submission and then piss hot because he's failed 4 drug tests or something like that. Either way, congratulations to him. I'm only joking about the pissing hot thing, although he has failed many tests. I'm not making that up. That ain't down to me. Pass more drug tests if you don't want me to troll you for pissing hot. Anyway, Holly Holm still getting it done at the age of 41. Incredible, really. She did look really good. I didn't think that she would have too many problems, really. I did predict a decision for Holly Holm, and that's exactly what it was, because her wrestling's actually gotten quite a lot better, and she's able to just put her opponent on her back, and with her kickboxing as well, which is hard to deal with. I'm not sure she beats Nunes, though. That's the problem, isn't it? She wants to have another crack at the title. Is she going to beat Amanda Nunes? Answer, probably not. Tough one. Tough situation, really, isn't it? And you had Corey Sandhagen. He looked pretty good. Not great. I thought, to be fair, I thought that Vera, he looked slow. As soon as the fight started, I remembered how slow Vera starts and how his output can be a problem for him. His low output is fine when he gets a highlight reel knockout. But when he's just falling behind on the scorecards the whole time, bit of a problem. That's exactly what happened. Not sure how any of the judges scored it to Marlon Vera, but they did. Hey ho, what can you do? I'm not sure what they saw that the other judges didn't. Frankly, I scored pretty much every round to Sandhagen, honestly. But look, in a fight like that, volume is king. It really is. And Vera failed to put his volume to an appropriate amount where he was even going to be considered to get the nod, which is a shame. He was making some good moves in bantamweight. It'll be interesting to see where Sandhagen goes from here. Maybe a Sean O'Malley, maybe even a Peter Yan. I don't know. Marad Valishvili, I think he's just been matched up with Umar Nurmagomedov, to be fair. Oh man, that is a real kick in the crotch, isn't it? You win, you become the number 1 ranked guy in the bantamweight division, and obviously you don't want to fight your best mate, who is Aljamain Sterling. So your reward for becoming the number 1 bantamweight, aside from the champion, is to have to fight an 11 ranked Nurmagomedov. That's not a prize. That's a way of, I don't know, maybe the matchmaker saying, look, if you won't fight the champion, gonna have to fight backwards. Here's rank number 11. He's actually meant to be really good. This could be a problem. Because what happens if you lose to that guy? And that's a distinct possibility. Although I wouldn't say it's a foregone conclusion. Marad Valishvili is really good himself. So I wouldn't say that it's an automatic that Umar Nurmagomedov gets past him. But that's a tough test. What's next for Vera? Who knows? We will see. But I don't think... Look, neither guy particularly impressed me in that fight. I do find it's funny that I predicted quite a few of those results correctly, but the only ones people will ever comment on are the ones where you get it wrong. People are haters. People love to hate. They really do. It is kind of funny. The percentage-wise of people that have commented on the ones that I've predicted correctly, because I do get some of them right. A broken clock is right 3 times a day, or whatever the saying is. And yeah, I get quite a few correct. No one ever comments on those though. No one ever comments. Only comments I get is, I thought that Marlon Vera might look quite good against Sandhagen. I was incorrect in that one. But all you get is people going, oh, good call on that one, bro. That's clever stuff, guys. Clever stuff. Honestly, how long have you had that witty retort holstered for? Take you a long time? Been saving that one for a rainy day? Christ almighty. It is funny though. I see those comments and it actually does make me laugh. I'm just like, yeah, okay. Oh, yeah, it does. I got it wrong. Yeah. Anyway, if you would like more, sometimes very inaccurate fight predictions, hit subscribe. If you like seeing me eat some humble pie when I go through the results, hit subscribe. Pretty easy. Hit subscribe. Leave loads of comments like that. Don't, please, call me a knobhead when I get it wrong. I mean, maybe sometimes when I get it right, say, oh, you did all right on that one, but you get loads of the other ones wrong, so you're still a knobhead. That'd be fine. It's like consistency, Anyway, let's have a look at the news. Apparently, people are saying, well, it's not even apparently. I'm in a lot of these MMA, groups and stuff on Facebook and whatever. So many people are saying that Leon Edwards is ducking Colby Covington. I'm going to tell you why that is not the case. Number one, these guys are prize fighters. They're prize fighters. That means that Leon Edwards is looking for the biggest fights. That's what he's looking for. He wants to make the most pay-per-view points. He wants the most money in his bank. That's what he's going for. And when he was saying that he wanted to see if Masvidal could get past Burns and then possibly do a fight with Masvidal because he would deserve it more, he's saying he deserves it more to be inflammatory. That's not the case. What he really means is that because of the history with them, if Masvidal gets through Burns, then the bigger fight is Masvidal. That's the bigger fight. It's probably the easier fight, and it's the bigger fight. And that is exactly what Leon Edwards should be doing. He should be getting the easiest fights for the most amount of money. That is his job. End of. You shouldn't be taking the hardest fights for not as much money. That makes no sense. These guys are prize fighters. Leon Edwards is doing his job. Fear doesn't even factor into it. Like, people going about, oh, he's scared of Colby Covington. Leon has just beaten the consensus greatest welterweight of this generation of fighters twice, back to back. He has not been beaten in something like 12 fights. Fear does not factor into it. No fear factor. No Joe Rogan fear factor gross out shows here. It's a non-starter. People going on about that are out of their minds. He's not afraid of Colby Covington. Colby Covington isn't afraid of Leon Edwards. There is nothing like that there. But look, when we look at this practically, Colby Covington, his style, he's more or less a less explosive version of Kamaru Usman. A Kamaru Usman that just got beaten twice back to back by Leon Edwards. So again, when people say, oh, Leon's scared of Colby Covington, I see no evidence of that. Where's the evidence to support that? Honestly. It's like, look, I'm not saying that Colby Covington couldn't beat Leon Edwards. Look, no two fights are the same, and Colby's got a fantastic style. I'm a big fan of Colby Covington, in all honesty. But we've seen Leon Edwards look really good at stopping the takedowns against Kamaru Usman, who is arguably a better wrestler. And Colby Covington's going to have to really be on his A game to beat Leon Edwards, as Leon Edwards will be to beat Colby Covington. It's a good matchup, but if Masvidal beats Gilbert Burns, it's not the biggest matchup. And Leon should be taking the biggest matchups, the one for the most money. And ideally the easier matchups that he can win. So he can keep making those pay-per-view points. Because that belt equals a lot of money. So, yeah. People saying he's ducking Colby. Ducking's the wrong word. Sidestepping for a better opportunity is probably slightly more accurate. If they make him fight Colby Covington. If Masvidal doesn't get through Gilbert Burns, he'll gladly fight Covington. That's a fact. Anyway, speaking of fights breaking down, Fury versus Usyk is broken down again. Whose fault is it? I hear you all asking. Well, it depends on who you ask. If you ask the Usyk camp, then it's greedy belly Tyson Fury. Hashtag greedy belly. That's all I kept hearing on the train to go and watch the football the other day. All I kept hearing was hashtag greedy belly. But then you ask the Fury camp, and actually it was Usyk that was asking for all these kind of weird caveats and demands and things like that. Fact of the matter is, none of us actually know, so it's all speculation, isn't it? I'm a fan of both of these guys. I feel like, again, it's people going, oh, well, Fury's just clearly scared of Usyk. That's ridiculous. Fury, why would Fury be afraid of Usyk, right? Usyk is not afraid of Fury. Neither man, fear doesn't, there is no fear factor here. It's a non-starter. Like, Tyson Fury is 6'9", nearly 300 pounds. He's a giant, and he's one of the greatest boxers to step into that heavyweight ring. That's just a fact. It is. Usyk is also extreme. He's an elite level. Neither man are afraid of the other guy. Both of them could win that fight, and that's what makes it interesting. So when people say, "Oh, he's just afraid he's going to lose," I think that is absolute nonsense, and people need to just stop with that. Start looking at this from a rational perspective. Because the problem is, look, whether you like it or not, whether you like Fury or not, Fury is the A side in that matchup. He is. I don't care how many titles he holds. I don't care how many titles Usyk holds. Fury is the A side. That is a fact. Stop me where I'm wrong. So look, obviously Fury's going to get the most money, but we don't see what the contracts were. We don't see what the negotiations were. So really, it all just depends on who you like. Me personally, I quite like Fury, but I like Usyk as well. For me, I think that there's probably fault on both sides, if I'm totally honest. Being realistic, there's fault on both sides. You can never believe just one side of the argument. That's why we get fed a very one-sided, view of conflict that's going on right now. I think you know the one. But I don't feel like the whole... You don't get the whole story in the media. That's the problem with the news these days. You don't get the whole story. You get the facts that the news want to present to you in order to push an agenda that suits them. That is also true. I believe it's called propaganda, but only when it's right-wing fascists that do it. Again, stop me where I'm wrong. Stop me where I'm wrong. Sorry, I'm going far too political. I don't know what's wrong with me today. I don't normally touch these kind of subjects with a barge pole because it's too inflammatory. But anyway, I did. I went there. Sorry. Not sorry. So yeah, look. Bottom line is, I just feel like Fury on his current form, he's tough for anybody to beat because he's just so big, but he's also so quick for his size. Usyk looks fantastic. I just hope they manage to put aside their differences and get that fight to go together. Cowboy Cerrone is heading to the Hall of Fame. Now, before I go into this, let me preface this by saying that I really like Cowboy Cerrone. He's one of my favourite fighters all time to watch. He had a great career. Really great career. Really good career. Top shelf career. Really fantastic. Very talented. Not denying that. Did a lot for the sport because, he's put on some exciting fights. I don't think it was a Hall of Fame career. I'm sorry. Sorry, not sorry. I love Cowboy Cerrone. Really, he's one of my favourites to watch. But the Hall of Fame has to be difficult to get into. It has to be the elite of the elite. And I would ask a question, does Donald Cerrone fall into that category? At any point in his career, was he the elite of the elite? Anderson Silva hasn't even been inducted into the Hall of Fame yet. How is Donald Cerrone getting inducted same year as Anderson Silva? That makes no sense to me at all. So look, congratulations to him. I'm glad that he's in there, but for me, I don't want to say it cheapens the Hall of Fame, but it feels like the Hall of Fame should be very difficult to get into, and Donald Cerrone to get in there like less than a year after he's been retired, I personally don't feel like it was a Hall of Fame career. I feel like it was an excellent career, fantastic career. Me personally, I don't feel like it was a Hall of Fame career. And Make of that what you will. That's just my opinion. Sorry, not sorry. I'm saying that a lot today. Crikey. So let's have a look at Troll of the Week. Ngannou has a boxing match apparently against Simple Simon. Probably not though. I'm fairly sure this is fake. So many people thought this was real. But I mean, to be fair though, these are the kind of boxing matches that Fury's going to have to be making do with, because I don't think he's getting the big one that he wants, is he? He's not getting it. Not happening. Nope. Have you heard a peep out of anybody with a big boxing name saying they're looking to fight Francis Ngannou? Francis says he's in talks. He's in talks. He's sending tweets out sending a Twitter status saying at whatever boxer, you don't want this blowing smoke emojis. That's not fight negotiations, Francis. Get a proper manager. Get a money manager as well, for the love of God. Somebody who's been earning millions from fighting should not be having to borrow money for a fight camp. You're right about that part of it when you were complaining about being broke, right? But that's not the UFC's fault. The UFC paid you those millions of dollars. How are you broke, dude? What have you been spending your money on? Who have you... People are so quick to have a go at Dana White. Dana White is not the one responsible for spending Ngannou's money. Dana White and the UFC paid out to Ngannou exactly what they agreed to pay out. Probably more. They probably paid out more than they agreed to. So why does everybody look straight to the UFC saying they're the evil ones, they're the bastards because Ngannou's broke? Why aren't people looking at Ngannou's management team, Ngannou's friends, the people that he's got around him? Those are the ones you should be looking at. Those are the ones that you should be casting aspersions at for leading Ngannou down paths that have clearly been detrimental to his career. Those are the guys. You're barking up the wrong tree. And with that, this episode comes to a close. I'd like to thank you for watching. If you could please hit subscribe, that'd be fantastic. There aren't any UFC fights on this week, so I might take an admin day or something, get some stuff together. I'll probably start making some waves. There's a big fight card the week after, obviously Pereira versus Adesanya 2. That's a stacked fight card. There's going to be a lot to go through, so I'm probably going to do some prep for that. So until then, keep all those odds long and those bets terrible. Thank you for watching.